Hey everybody, this is CHANCEBENDING with Ben Smith. Welcome back. So I'm really glad to be with all of you. We've had a great run of podcasts lately. I'm feeling really good about what's going on. So we've had some interesting guests. We've had people like super LA power lawyer Matt Belinsky. We have had college athletes like Scoop Jardine from Syracuse. We've had Jeremy Pargo, who's played in the NBA. We've had interesting entrepreneurs on and have started Startup Review. So everything is going really well. And I wanted to thank you. I've been receiving a lot of interesting comments. I've been getting people asking questions and actually got a bunch of questions from younger people over the last week. And one of their main questions was sort of, how are you doing this? How do you put this together? How do you get started? And when I wanted to give them a thoughtful reply, I really thought about it. And it took me a couple of hours, and I was really trying to boil down what exactly it is that's helped me get ChanceBending off the ground. And one of the big things that I really like to stress with young people is this idea of proximity. Proximity is so important, right? Proximity allows incredible things to happen. And it's more important now than ever. Even in the age of the internet, proximity is vital. So what do I mean by that? Well, when people ask me, how did I end up, working at Google when it was around 1,000 people, maybe less, back in early 2003, it was still a small fraction of the size it would become. It was not a big thing. So how did you end up in this situation like that? And I always tell people it was proximity. Right? My lucky break in life, it was really nothing that I consciously did. I was lucky in that my sister ended up going to Stanford University. And at Stanford University, she did really well, but she really liked Palo Alto. So she stayed in Palo Alto. And after she graduated from college, I was communicating with her, and I came to visit her in 2003. Now, she had a friend, a great guy named Jeff Gillis, and Jeff had gone to Stanford with her. And my sister was mentioning to me, and she's like, this our friend Jeff actually got a job at this little company called Google, and he's been promoted 3 times in 6 months, and he's been doing very well there. And not that Jeff was some sort of goof, but she was like, look, if Jeff can do really well there, maybe you could do well there. Now, I had other ideas and plans and ideas, but I said, okay, maybe I'll take a look at it. So lucky enough, I got an interview with Google and ended up going there. Now, if that was the case, if my sister was not at Stanford or at Palo Alto, I would never have had that opportunity. And that opportunity really changed the course of my life. So when young people ask me for career advice, I like to say proximity. Getting close to the action allows for amazing things to happen. We have so many startup hub cities now across the country that allow for proximity to happen. So even in this wired age, you need to be close to the action. You need to see it and breathe it. I think that's why ChanceBending is doing so well so quickly, is that we're around a great group of people. We're around creative people, and chance things are happening. I met Jordan Dumars, the co-host and friend of ChanceBending, through actually speaking locally. I spoke at Gagosian Gallery and was ultimately connected to Jordan through Gagosian Gallery. Now that's amazing. That's why cities like Los Angeles and Austin, New York, San Francisco, they continue to see so many young people move there. So if you're a young person out there and you want great things to happen, you have to find a way to get to the action. I remember a young kid I used to mentor who he started in Florida. He started in Gainesville, Florida. And I said, if you're really serious about making this happen, what I want you to do is I want you to come out to California. And he gave me 5 different excuses why that might not be possible for him. But then he made the jump. And when he made the jump, he ultimately ended up working as Mark Cuban's right-hand man and ended up working as an executive, as an employee, I should probably say, at Twitter within a year or two. And it's just an amazing story that someone that could be on the fence about doing something, a young 23-year-old kid in Gainesville, Florida, can end up being Mark Cuban's right-hand person. But it's all about proximity. He got to the right place. He came to California. He started hanging out in the right circles, and amazing things happened. Now, he had to work really, really, really hard, and he was an extreme go-getter, so that won't happen to every single person, but it's proximity that allowed that to happen. So I'm so thankful for my world and for you guys and for everybody that's making chance bending happen. And I'm just realizing how much of that is proximity. So that's my thought for today. Hope you're enjoying the podcast. We have some incredible guests lined up for the next week or two. Stay tuned. We have a lot of interesting businesses and entrepreneurs coming, so stay tuned for that. We also have a State of Voice Technology podcast that is on its way. That should be a good one. I'm looking forward to speaking pretty honestly about what's happening and what's not happening in that space. All right. Until then.